Hey guys, it's Karl. One of the most common questions on the channel outside of tech is typically, what is my workout regime? What do I do to stay in shape? So I wanted to create this vid, as you can tell from the title, with a bit of a challenge because I typically don't use smartwatches for working out, even though I'm pretty tech heavy. You can actually see I wear my OG watch normally, even though we haven't got too much sun yet this year. I still have my watch tan as I am always wearing this, and I don't typically wear a smartwatch when I work out. I obviously use the Apple Watch. I use smartwatches all the time to test out, but there is some reason, I can't quite nail it, why I don't wear a workout watch, or I don't wear a smartwatch to work out. So I really want to kind of push myself to this challenge to see the benefits of using a smartwatch every day, and obviously we could test it out. So we partnered up with Huawei on this one. This is their Watch 3 Pro. We've got another one off to the side here, which I'll be giving away. So just make sure you leave a comment. We'll get to those details at the end of this video. 30 days with this watch highlights. And yeah, you can probably tell from those quick 30 clips, and if you follow me on social at all, you probably know that my ankle got absolutely mangled around a week in. The challenge didn't go to plan. I do play soccer twice a week as my cardio, just in a rec men's league. I hate running, I hate doing cardio, so playing sports is my way to get my cardio fix in. I got tackled pretty hard and ended up tearing 2 ligaments in my ankle. I've unfortunately done it before, 2-3 years ago. This is the third time it's happened, and right away I knew when I got tackled. I heard that little popping sound, and within 10 minutes my ankle had ballooned, and I was just more frustrated than anything. I know how long ankle injuries take, and I know how long ligament damage takes to heal. So yeah, unfortunately the recovery process for any ankle injuries like this, for anyone that's done it before, you know how painful it is, because they typically recommend to have your ankle elevated. Keep off your ankle. You are always on your ankle. You are always walking. You are always sitting at a desk. Keeping your ankle up, elevated to prevent swelling is something that isn't typically normal. So at the end of the day, my ankle is typically nice and juiced up and swollen. It looks quite ugly even now, a month later. And I should be able to get back into light running, obviously no sports, in the next maybe 2.5-3 months. Anyways, that's the recovery. That's sad news. I'm not looking for any sort of pity, but the challenge was interrupted a week in, and you actually saw on the last day that it happened. I thought I'd be brilliant, and since you can't wear a watch when you play soccer, that's the limitations of sport watches in general. You can't typically wear them when you play organized sports, since you can kind of hit people in the face by accident. I thought I would stick this into my pocket to add extra steps. So that's that little spike up, and you can see the extra steps that I took on that day. And I think that's actually the real takeaway for smartwatches for me in general now. They actually give you this little bit of extra motivation to help you achieve, say, your goals, to help you get that extra workout. Because the last thing that I wanted to do when I was sitting on my butt crying to myself, trying to keep my ankle elevated, I didn't want to work out, but I tried to keep to it. Of course, I didn't put any pressure on my leg. I was doing the same old bench press, back, anything that I could do off my ankle, or even rehab. I forced myself to do that an hour a day. And even now that the month is over and the challenge is over, what I miss the most is kind of glancing down at my wrist, seeing the smartwatch on it, and that little cue or that extra little motivation to get off my butt, get off resting my ankle, and actually doing something. And like I mentioned, this is the Huawei Watch 3 Pro. And what I've loved about this watch the most is the battery life. One of my biggest detractors from the Apple Watch, of course I've got the latest Series 7 here, is charging it every single day. It's something that I'm still not used to. Since I sleep with my watch, I always have it on. The only time that I'm charging this is when I'm actively taking it off to charge it. I don't typically take this off in the middle of the night or before I go to sleep. So on this, I was consistently getting around 5 days per charge, and then say on the weekend when I was doing some extra rehab, when I was say stretching a bit more, trying to get my ankle mobility up, that's when I would charge this. And it also has a battery savings mode. When you disable some of the features, this can actually last up to 21 days, which is absolutely nuts. I actually wore this with me on a week-long trip when I was in Barcelona for MWC, put that long battery mode on, and I didn't even have to charge it once. So that was really nice. The next thing which I loved is the build and overall design. And I am that OG watch smart guy, like I said. I prefer the design of a circular smartwatch. For some reason, the square Apple Watch still doesn't do it for me, whether that's me being a bit of a traditionalist. I love the form factor of a circular watch, this being a stainless steel model. The Watch 3 Pro comes in a titanium build, so the benefits of titanium is it's super lightweight. So even though it's a large watch, it's got a 48mm face, it feels like you're wearing a lighter watch. And if you are using any sort of watch to work out, I obviously recommend getting a rubber strap. It's just the best, especially if you sweat a lot, and if you want to dress it up and be more fancy, you can always swap out the band for one of the leather or metal options. And I would say the only caveat about this watch, the workout modes, even though you've got a ton to choose from, a lot of them requiring my ankle, which I couldn't do. So running courses 13, outdoor run, outdoor walk, indoor walk, cycling, which I can maybe do. They didn't have a specific workout function for weight training, which in my studio here, right off to the side, I've got my squat rack. This is kind of where I did a lot of my workouts. It still tracked my heart rate regularly. I was still able to track my calorie expenditure. And maybe the thing that you'd laugh at the most was the steps that I took because of that ankle. My steps per day were on the low side, as that does make a lot of sense, but still being able to be active and still forcing myself to maintain some sort of regular normalcy. And I am typically someone that, I think this is gonna annoy some people, loses weight when they don't work out. I'm actually a really skinny guy normally. So if we actually flash back to first year university, when I think, how old are you, like 20, 19, 20? I'm close to 6'1", and I weighed in at 125 pounds, so really skinny guy, and I had never touched a weight in my life. And I started working out pretty heavy, started doing a lot of weight training to pack on some muscle. Fast forward to my last year of university, I was close to 190. I think the heaviest that I was like 198. My magical goal was to hit that 200-pound mark, just being a really muscular, thick dude. I sadly can say I never got to that stage. So I fluctuated between that 190 mark. Now I'm around 185, and for the past, 6-7 years, I've been in maintenance phase. I don't want to gain any more weight. I don't want to lose any more weight. And if I don't work out, like when I injured my ankle 4 years ago or 3 years ago, I actually lost 15 pounds in that year because I just didn't hit the gym. And as a little reference, we'll do this scale measurement right here live on vid as well. We'll take the B cam. If I can slide this out, so minus the weight of this camera, I'm gonna step on this scale, and stepping on, angle brace and everything, 85.7 kilos. So that's around 185-ish pounds, so 2.2 if my math is correct. And thankfully in this non-scientific test, you can just tell just from the numbers, I haven't lost any weight. I've probably converted some muscle in my legs to fat, as I haven't hit any sort of squats in the past month, so I'll probably be that typical gym bro with the large upper body and the toothpick legs. You can't blame that on me though, just blame the ankle. I do have to give it up to the watch though for just giving me that extra motivation. If there's anything that I've learned from this challenge, it's no matter how out of shape or even say in shape you are, having an extra piece of extrinsic motivation like a smartwatch helps so much. I can't tell you how many times I didn't want to move, or I just pitied myself for, yeah, kind of being useless, being stupid for playing men's league soccer. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little challenge video. If you have any questions about working out, you know, leave them down below. Like I said, this watch performed great. The battery life for me was the biggest standout. Obviously the build, the lightweightness of the titanium, the circular design, and you can still track all of the best features like SpO2, things like skin temperature, and I can already foresee some of the comments. You don't have to have a Huawei smartphone. I was actually just using my 13 Pro Max. I just have the Huawei Health app. It actually syncs with the Apple Health app as well if you want. There you can see all of my workouts over the past month and the entire challenge that I did, and I do prefer it over my Apple Watch. And like I mentioned, we do have an extra one on deck to give away to one of you guys. So I know that there's this entire spam commenting thing going on in the comments. Don't fall for a spammer. Follow me over on social. That's my verified accounts where I can coordinate proper shipping. I'll never ask you to pay any sort of fees or duties. Hope you guys enjoyed this vid. If anyone has an ankle injury, if anyone has any injury in general, I feel ya. You can still be active to your best ability. Obviously, rehab is super important. It's something that I still try to do every single day. So hopefully in a couple months, I'm back up and running, and we'll still probably wear this brace when I play soccer in the future. We'll catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace.